Greetings, warriors and brave souls. I am Eric the Blood Axe, an ancient Viking warrior whose axe painted the seas red and whose spirit now lingers in these tales. Today, on the Vikings POV Stories channel, I'm bringing you a story buried deep in our sagas, the part that's whispered only in the dead of night, never sung aloud by the skalds. We Vikings set sail westward to claim new lands, chasing timber for our ships, wild grapes for wine, and gold to fill our chests. But what we discovered wasn't meant for mortal men. It was claimed by ancient shadows, older than the gods we honored, things that observe without truly seeing, yet mark your soul forever. If you're here for this tale, know this. We witnessed something the world buries and denies. Where are you tuning in from right now? Drop your country, city, or that eerie spot in the comments below. Maybe your corner of the earth guards similar secrets. Now, draw close to the fire, for the night wind howls, and let me carry you back across the centuries. We launched in early summer, 3 sturdy vessels cutting through the waves. Karlsefni's broad Nar packed with settlers and supplies, my sea serpent crewed by hardened warriors for protection, and a third ship commanded by the steadfast Gudrid Thorbjarnadóttir and her husband. The gods seemed to smile, the winds were steady from the stern, porpoises leaped alongside us as if guiding the way, and the men roared songs of Valhalla's glory. Yet as we drew nearer the western horizon, the ocean shifted. The water turned inky black, even under bright sun, and a peculiar odor drifted on the breeze. Damp earth mixed with ancient smoke, like a funeral pyre long extinguished.
The year was around what the Christians call 1005, though we paid no mind to their reckoning. Leif Erikson, son of the fierce Eric the Red, had returned from his bold voyage to the western lands he named Vinland. His stories fired our blood. Gentle winters where grass stayed green, vines heavy with grapes sweeter than any in Norway, forests of towering trees perfect for building longships. Leif spoke of opportunity, of a new home beyond the icy grip of Greenland. But Leif left out the rest. He never described the unnatural fog that hugged the coastline like a shroud, or how the birds went deathly quiet as dusk fell, as if afraid to break the silence. I was Bjorn Ironside, not the legendary one from the old raids on Paris, but a kinsman bearing the name with pride. 30 winters had hardened me, broad-shouldered, scarred from battles in the Baltic, captain of my own dragon-proud longship, the Sea Serpent. When rumors spread that Thorfinn Karlsefni, a wealthy Icelandic merchant with fire in his veins, was assembling a proper expedition, not just exploration but settlement, I joined without a second thought. This time we'd go with families, livestock, seeds, and tools to carve out a lasting colony. 160 men, women, and children in total, plus cattle lowing in the holds and sheep bleating for new pastures.
We sighted land at last in a sheltered fjord Leif had marked as Stromfjord, a wide bay ringed by meadows golden with grass, a swift river bursting with salmon, and hills cloaked in dense forest. We beached the ships, unloaded our cargo, and set to work with vigor. Sod houses rose quickly, roofs thatched with birch, pens built for the animals. We called the place Hop, after the sheltered harbor.
For the first months, it felt like paradise. The soil was rich, barley sprouted tall. The cows grazed contentedly, giving milk thick with cream. We even encountered the natives, the Skrælings, dark-skinned folk in skin boats, who came cautiously to trade furs and ivory for bits of red cloth and iron nails. Peace held. Laughter echoed in the longhouse evenings. Karlsefni's wife Gudrid gave birth to a son, Snorri, the first child of our blood born in the new world, a sign of Odin's blessing, we said. Then the unease crept in, slow as frost. It began with the children. Karlsefni's young daughter Astrid bolted awake one midnight, shrieking about glowing hollows in the woods staring back. We soothed her with tales of trolls and sent her back to sleep. Children imagine monsters, we told ourselves. But soon the adults dreamed too. The same visions plagued us, colossal forms slithering just beneath the soil, murmurs in a language that twisted the mind like knots in rope, and an overwhelming sense of being scrutinized by intelligences vast and indifferent. I dismissed it as sea weariness or bad ale. Warriors don't fear dreams. Until the hunt that shattered everything. Late fall, when the leaves blazed crimson and the air bit sharp, 5 of us ventured deeper into the forest than ever before, tracking a massive stag with antlers like a crown. Me, my sworn blood brother Harold One-Eye, who'd lost his left orb to a Frankish arrow, eager young Snorri Sturluson seeking his first big kill, and 2 seasoned hunters, Olaf and Torvald. The stag lured us on for hours, always just out of bow range, deeper into untouched wilderness. The trees here were primordial giants, trunks thick as watchtowers, bark etched with moss older than our clans, roots arching overhead like bridges. At last, the beast vanished into a hidden glade. We burst in, axes ready, and froze. In the center stood a circle of standing stones, 12 monoliths of obsidian black rock, taller than 2 men, arranged perfectly. Their surfaces crawled with carvings, not our runes, nor anything scraling. Symbols that seemed to writhe and change as you stared, spirals pulling your gaze inward until your head throbbed. Harold, fearless as ever, stepped closer. "Some ancient scraling shrine," he grunted, but his hand trembled on his axe haft. A chill wind rose from nowhere. Then the fog descended, dense, swirling, colder than glacier melt. Midday turned to twilight in heartbeats. The forest sounds died, no birds, no rustle of leaves. We heard it next, a deep thrumming vibration rising from the earth itself like the heartbeat of a buried giant.
Snorri whimpered and bolted back the way we'd come. We shouted for him to stop, but the mist devoured his footsteps. Harold roared a challenge, shield up. I drew my sword, the steel humming in my grip. That's when they emerged from the fog. Not human, not animal, figures taller than giants yet unnaturally slender, limbs jointed in impossible ways, too many angles. Their skin, if it was skin, shimmered like oil on water. Where faces should be, smooth expanses with deep voids for eyes, mouths that split vertically, revealing nothing but darkness. They didn't charge. They simply observed, gliding forward without touching the ground. One extended a tendril, not quite arm, not quite smoke, and brushed Harold's brow.
He dropped his axe, his single eye rolled back. A guttural scream tore from his throat, raw and primal, then cut off as if severed. He collapsed, staring blankly at the sky. Olaf swung wildly. His blade passed through the nearest shape like mist. Torvald backed away, muttering prayers to Thor. I grabbed Harald and ran, dragging him as Olaf and Torvald followed. Branches lashed our faces, roots tripped us, but terror lent wings. We erupted into familiar woods hours later, gasping, bloodied. Snorri was never found. Searches turned up only his broken bow, snapped as if by enormous force. Harald survived, in body, his mind shattered. He sat mute by the fire pits, rocking, whispering fragments.
the before ones. They remember everything. We are ants on their grave." A month later, under a full moon, he wandered into the fjord and walked until the water closed over him. We never recovered the body. The settlement frayed after that. Livestock wasted away, not starved, but terrified. We found a prize bull one morning with its eyes ruptured, tongue swollen black, as if it had beheld unspeakable horror.
The Skraelings came less often. When they did, an elder woman, wrinkled as old leather, communicated through Gudrid, who understood some of their tongue. "Ancient sleepers stir, this ground sacred to the deep old. Humans trespass, must go before the veil thins." Karlsefni scoffed. "We are Northmen. We bow to no shadows. With steel and courage, we hold what we claim." Many sided with him. Pride burned hot. I urged departure, sensing doom. Whispers spread. Mutiny brewed. Winter clamped down fierce and premature. Blizzards howled for weeks, snow drifting to rooftops. Food stores dwindled, tempers flared. Nights brought worse. Men reported footsteps circling the houses, soft, padding, never leaving prints. Shadows flitted at the edges of torchlight. One sentry vanished from his post. Only his spear remained, tip bent impossibly. Then, the night of the blood moon. Deep midwinter, the northern lights twisted in unnatural crimson hues, painting the snow like fresh slaughter. We gathered in the great long house for a desperate feast, last of the salted pork, fermented milk, tales to bolster spirits. The ground trembled first, subtle, then building, boom, boom, like distant drums or footsteps of a colossus approaching. Doors rattled, ale horns spilled. Karlsefni stood. "Earthquake! To arms in case Skraelings attack!" We rushed outside into biting cold. The fog had returned, thicker than any before, glowing faintly from within. Pale orbs danced in the tree line, will-o-wisps but larger, purposeful. Women herded children deeper inside. We warriors, 40 strong now, locked shields in a wall before the entrance, spears bristling. They came. First dozens of the elongated figures materializing from the mist, then more, hundreds, silent. Behind them loomed the greater presence, a silhouette blotting stars, amorphous yet defined, tentacles of shadow writhing. We charged with war cries, "For Odin! For Thor!" Chaos erupted. Axes cleaved only vapor, spears thrust into nothingness. Men fell untouched, clutching heads, screaming as minds unraveled from invisible assault. One warrior clawed his own eyes out, babbling of infinities. I fought beside Karlsefni. He hewed valiantly until tendrils wrapped him, lifting high. His body contorted with cracks like breaking ice. Blood sprayed as he plummeted, lifeless. Freydis, Eric's daughter, Leif's wild sister, heavy with child yet ferocious, mounted the roof, sword bared, bellowing defiance at the horde. A vortex of darkness yanked her screaming into the void. By false dawn, when the fog retreated as suddenly as it came, our proud band was decimated. Bodies littered the snow, some mangled, others untouched but eyes vacant, souls fled. 60 survivors huddled, shattered. We torched the buildings to deny the enemy shelter, loaded ships with what remained, weeping women, orphaned children, haunted men. As the sea serpent pulled away, sails straining eastward, I stood astern, gazing back. Vinland's shore dissolved in lingering mist, but I beheld it rising, the immense shadow detaching from the forest, towering, regarding our flight with patient eternity. We reached Greenland ragged ghosts. Karlsefni's official tale, to those who asked, blamed fierce skraeling hordes and unforgiving winters. The sagas echo that version, a noble failure, but we survivors knew. We swore silence, lest madness claim us all. That land wasn't awaiting discovery, it was occupied by guardians from before time, slumbering beneath stone and root. We disturbed their watch. They permitted escape, a mercy or message to others, stay away. I raided afterward in my later years, England's monasteries, Ireland's coasts, but peace eluded me. Nights brought the watch, hollow voids tracking from dreams. Even now, as spirit narrator, I sense them, waiting. Heed me, modern kin, the world harbors depths beyond gods and giants. Some doors once cracked, never fully close. We sought new horizons, but certain discoveries seek you back. And when humanity grows bold again, pushing into forbidden wilds, they may stir fully. This tale ends, but the watch continues. You've been listening to Eric the Bloodaxe on Vikings POV Stories, unveiling the shadows behind the sagas. If this chilled you to the bone and ignited your wanderlust for hidden truths, hit that like, subscribe for more untold Norse nightmares, and turn on notifications. The past calls loudly. Where has this story reached you tonight? Cozy apartment in New York, remote farm in Canada, or a foggy forest where you feel observed? Comment your location, country, city, or exact vibe, and if you've ever sensed something ancient in the wild. Share with a fellow thrill seeker. The bold inherit glory, but silence serves the old ones. Until next time, stay vigilant and keep your axe sharp against the unseen.